Hello, my name is Roland Reyer. I am a technical specialist for Maya at Autodesk Media Entertainment in Europe. In this short video, I'd like to talk about the different ways of accessing functions and tools in Maya using the example of modeling. This is the standard screen of Maya. There are many UI elements around the perspective camera window. Besides the pull-down menus, we see a status bar, the shelf, the toolbox, the channel box, timeline, playback range, helpline and command line. This static UI is good for beginners because they can connect a function to a location and there's no need to perform an action to get access to a function. However, a static user interface requires some space on the screen, which is then no longer available to the camera window. It is therefore a good idea to first hide those elements that are not needed for modeling. That would definitely be the timeline and the playback range. In the menu Windows UI Elements, you will find switches for all standard UI elements. If you only want to hide some elements temporarily, then this method is of course too complicated. It is then much easier to use one of the marking menus around the hotbox. The hotbox appears when I hold down the spacebar. If I press a mouse button here on the right, then a marking menu for the standard UI elements appears. This is a very fast way to toggle individual elements. We'll come back to the hotbox later. Another way to configure the user interface is to use Workspaces. Here I can define a complete configuration for all elements, also for additional windows like the UV editor. Switching between workspaces is very fast and easy, and you can save your own configurations. I have set up my own marking menu for the hotbox with which I can switch between workspaces very quickly. Marking menus can be created in the marking menu editor. There's another way to quickly hide all UI elements to make more space on the screen for the actual work. With the key combination Ctrl Space, all UI elements are hidden and any docked windows are minimized. Now you really have the whole screen at your disposal. Well, apart from the two menu bars and the panel toolbar. But of course you can't turn them off, right? Wrong. With the hotkeys Ctrl M, Shift M and Shift Ctrl M, you can also switch off the main menu bar, the panel menu and the panel toolbar. Now it's a little too empty here. Well, at least I still have the modeling toolbox so I can select different functions. However, this takes up screen space again. Oh, and of course I still have the hotbox. The hotbox contains all pull-down menus like the general menu bar, the panel menu bar and the menus for modeling, rigging, animation, special effects and rendering. With the marking menu on this field, I can select which menu bars I want to see in the hotbox. I can also configure the hotbox further. With the hotbox, I have access to all menus again and still have the whole screen for my work. The hotbox is okay if I want to break away from the regular pull-down menus first. At least here you have access to all functions and they are organized in the same way as in the main menu bar. But there are better possibilities. Maya offers special marking menus with Shift right mouse button for polygons. These marking menus are specific to the selection. If an object is selected, this menu appears. If vertices are selected, this. For edges, this. And for faces, this. This is by far the fastest way to select functions. These marking menus give me quick access to 8 functions. I just need to draw a line in that direction, then the function is selected. I don't even have to wait for the menu to be visible. For further functions, a conventional menu is attached under the marking menu. These Shift right mouse button marking menus contain functions for editing and modifying polygons. There are also Control right mouse button marking menus for the different polygon components, which contain functions for converting and filtering the selection. Finally, with Shift-Control-Right mouse button, you get a marking menu for the currently used tool, for example, the Move tool, the Rotate tool, or Scale tool. One of the modeling tools is special with regard to the marking menus. It's the Sculpting tool. When you enter this tool, then a simple right mouse button lets you access the tool options. It is also very easy to switch between tools that are used a lot. Shift right mouse button and Control right mouse button both have the same marking menu for the different sculpting tools. So what would the workflow for a modeling artist look like? In my opinion, the screen should be clean and preferably without any distractions, and the camera window should be as large as possible. This allows you to view your models in full screen and work precisely on details. With Shift right mouse button, the required tools and functions for the selected components are always available at the current position of the mouse pointer. For those functions which are not actually found in the right mouse button marking menus, you can still use the Hotbox. With the marking menu to the right of the Hotbox, you can quickly switch required UI elements on and off. Marking menus in the center of the Hotbox also allow you to switch cameras very quickly. We haven't talked about hotkeys that can be used to speed up the workflow, but this is a topic for one of the next workshops.